Hey there, everyone. When we hear the word suicide, we often think of it as a deeply personal act caused by psychological distress, depression, or life challenges. But what if I told you suicide is also a social issue? Sociologists see suicide as influenced by external factors like culture, family, religion, and social integration. One of the most significant contributors to this field was Emil Durkheim, a founding father of sociology. Durkheim argued that suicide is shaped by social structures, norms, and group dynamics. In his 1897 book Suicide, Durkheim analyzed suicide rates in different societies and found patterns that can't be explained purely by individual psychological conditions. He identified 4 types of suicide based on social integration and moral regulation. First up, we have egoistic suicide. This happens when individuals feel isolated or lack strong social bonds. Imagine a retired government officer who spent 40 years in service. Suddenly, he's alone, with no daily work, no colleagues, and children who have moved abroad. He feels purposeless. In urban India, many elderly people live alone, leading to loneliness and sometimes suicide. Next, altruistic suicide. This is when individuals are too deeply integrated into a group and feel compelled to sacrifice themselves for the collective good. Think of the historical sati practice in India, where widows self-immolated on their husband's funeral pyre, or the kamikaze pilots during World War II. It's extreme loyalty to a group or cause that leads to this kind of suicide. Then there's anomic suicide. This happens when society undergoes sudden changes, like an economic crisis or social disorder. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many small business owners lost their livelihoods overnight, leading to financial distress and suicides. It's the feeling of being lost in a society that no longer makes sense. Finally, fatalistic suicide. This occurs when people feel excessively controlled or oppressed by society with no hope of escape. Think of prisoners serving long life sentences or factory workers in oppressive conditions. It's a feeling of being trapped with no way out. Now, let's talk about sociological factors influencing suicide. Strong family and community ties reduce suicide risk. Economic conditions like recessions and job loss increase suicide rates. Religious and cultural beliefs also play a role. Durkheim found that suicide rates were lower among Catholics than Protestants due to stronger community ties. Even media and social influence matter. The Werther effect, for instance. After celebrity suicides, suicide rates spike, and social media cyberbullying pushes many young individuals towards suicide. Gender dynamics also influence suicide rates, with men more likely to die by suicide, while women attempt more often. So what can we do? Since suicide is a social issue, solutions must come from society. Stronger social networks, economic stability, mental health awareness, responsible media reporting, and educational reform can help. Remember, improving social integration, economic stability, and mental health support can reduce suicide rates. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts or questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you or someone you know needs help, please reach out to a mental health professional or a crisis helpline. Stay connected, stay hopeful. See you next time.